Hi, and welcome to ADHD-Friendly. I'm Patty Blinderman. I am an ADHD coach, and my passion is tilting the playing field with ADHD-friendly tips and resources so that we are thriving with ADHD. Welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. This is episode 132.
Woo-hoo.
I know, and it's just time is flying by.
Flying by.
So I have a celebration that I'm going to kick off the episode with, as I always do, and then I move on to my ADHD-friendly tip for this week, which has to do with my vacation I just got back from.
Yay!
And then the topic, which is something I'm calling wisdom from Steph Curry. If you don't know who that is, I will let you know. I don't have a lot of information. Actually, as I say that, I'll let you know a little bit about what I know about who he is, but I heard him on a podcast and I just loved what he was sharing. I literally ran and I made notes instantly, and I'm sharing it because it was very sparkly. And then I have my book of the week, as well as a quote from my Kevin Kelly book. But let's start with a celebration, as we do. You guys, Becca, did you peek?
No, I wanted to be surprised.
Okay. So I haven't peeked again since I first got up this morning, so it could be slightly different, but I'm okay with it.
I'm excited.
You know where I'm going?
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Is this really happening?
It is. I know. Guys, I don't know. I don't know what to say. If you're listening to this, guys, I flipped the flip cards to read 800 subscribers. 800. I am so excited. Now you can see all my roots. See the benefits of watching instead of listening. You get to see all the behind the scenes stuff that, it's just part of this ADHD life.
Yeah.
But welcome, new subscribers. Welcome back. I don't want to call you old subscribers, but maybe seasoned subscribers.
Oh, that's nice.
Experienced subscribers. But thank you so much. I don't want it to become like this kind of yeah, she says it all the time. Enough, get over yourself. It means so much to me that anything that I share is resonating enough that we'll hit that pause button for a second and go subscribe. So thank you. It really, really gives me so much energy and motivation to keep sharing things that can help us to thrive with ADHD.
Absolutely.
So that's number one, celebration. Number two, happy May. It's May 1st. May 1st. Which I didn't even know how that happens, but it is. And as I shared, I went and visited my family in North Carolina. I split my vacation. I visited my sister and brother-in-law in Asheville and my kiddos in Raleigh. 2 of my 4 kids live in Raleigh. And also some friends. Didn't get to see everyone, but that is always the case because it's kind of a logistical scheduling thing. But I did as much as I could, and I had a wonderful time. And the weather, by and large, was really good. A little rain in Asheville, a little heat in Raleigh, but to be expected.
Yeah.
Rolled with it. And my big win, I've been looking for a quilt. Yes. I've shared my quilt journey. Guys, this is my brain. Not only have I been looking for a quilt for my bed because I just don't tolerate getting hot when I'm sleeping.
Yes.
So I've been looking for a summer weight quilt to change out. I was inspired again to keep looking from that, but I shared in the podcast about, how to support your house to be on trend, which I told you was a little irritating for me. But at the same time, I realized, well, it would be sparkly if I had a lighter blanket for my bed so that I am not waking up steaming hot from the heat. And my solution has been a quilt. And I've been, before even I read the article, but the article did definitely reinvigorate my energy for it. But I've been looking for a quilt, and I wanted it to be blue and yellow because that's kind of my happy colors.
Yes.
And so I've been looking and looking.
Spring and summer.
And so I already know how much they cost. I'm not finding the perfect thing or even the, oh my gosh, that's pretty darn close. So I even researched taking a quilting class and learning how to make my own, because that's my brain. I'm like, okay, I can't find what I want. I can learn how to make it. And I have a couple of friends in my knit group that are really serious quilters, and I could tell by their energy when I said that. They're like, do you know what that entails? Kind of like you would say, settle down, Patty. That might not be the best plan. And I looked at courses, there's all these things. And so I went to the flea market when I was in Raleigh. Stinking love the flea market. And lo and behold, there was a vendor that only sold quilts,
Yeah.
a whole room of quilts. And so I found one, and I haggled a little bit, which is
Little
something I
bargain.
do enjoy in that environment. I do enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
But it was an authentic haggle because I only had, it was $120, which was the best price. It's a king size quilt, the best price I've seen in all of my research for quilts. So I already knew it was a deal, but I also knew I'm gonna have to check this because I only brought a carry-on bag and it's not going to fit.
Oh,
Unless I like wrap it around me like a coat or something.
Right.
So it's just a scarf. Yeah, just like wrap it around and throw the tail over. But I only had $100 cash. And I asked him if he was, if he haggles on it. He was honest. He said, I'd prefer not to. I said, I totally understand. It's a great, I already knew it was a great deal.
Yeah.
And it was a set. So it came with 2 pillow shams as well. So I was like, I know this is a good deal.
Yeah.
Well, I dug through my purse and I found 5 singles. So he literally saw me empty out everything I had. I said, I have 20, 40, 60, and 100. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm like, I'm all in. And he was like, let's do it. I'm like, let's do it. So I was so excited. So that's my celebration. I brought it home and it is now on my bed.
That's
and
so
last night was my first night.
sparkly.
And I have to say, it was definitely cooler than
Yeah. Especially with the warmer weather we've been having.
exactly a little warmer here right now.
Yeah.
So it was a big, lots of celebrations all around. All right. So now another tip related to my trip. This is my ADHD friendly tip for this week. But before I get to that, I have a quick ad. This little message from our sponsor. Sponsor is ADHD friendly, full disclosure. All right. But this ad, welcome for ADHD friendly, is a little different. I wanted to give you a little highlight of what's coming up since it's May 1st, what I have coming up in May for the members of ADHD Friendly. As people know that are in the membership, I do a live webinar the first Friday of every month. So that's coming up on Friday. All of my live offerings are always at 12 Eastern. So if 12 Eastern is a good time for you, I like 12 Eastern because a lot of people, even if you're working full time, can kind of watch the webinar or watch the live events during lunch breaks. So if you have any flexibility in your schedule, 12 Eastern works for you. ADHD Friendly is a fabulous fit for those of us looking to thrive with our ADHD wired brains. So in May, not only do I have the first Friday webinar coming up on Friday, the topic being how to be able to receive feedback a little bit more easily, which can be a really difficult thing with our ADHD brain wiring, not to feel that harsh judgment, that rejection sensitivity. So we're going to be talking about that and strategies to receive feedback in a way that we can receive it more easily. But then today, May 1st at 12 Eastern, I'm going to do a plan your month session live. 1 hour, we're going to plan our month. And then, so if you're not a member, there's still time to join. Go to ADHDfriendly.com, click subscribe, and you can be on the call. You'll be able to go into the portal. You'll see the members calendar and you click on that and you'll get the Zoom link to join the session today at noon Eastern. So we're going to plan our month today. And then on the 24th, I'm going to do a live plan your week session. That's also an hour at 12 Eastern on the 24th. And then at the end of the month, it's still in flux. The calendar for May isn't finalized. When this podcast comes out, it will be finalized. But I'm playing with doing another plan your month on May 31st to usher in June. You get the entire planner and course in ADHD friendly memberships. But I also know some of us don't like to go and watch recordings. We want to do the live thing to create the urgency. So I just wanted to highlight the planning sessions coming up this month to support you to thrive with ADHD if you want to be a member and use the support of the community and all the tools in there to support your brain to thrive with more ease. All right, that's it. Now back to the program. So I have an ADHD friendly tip that's also related to my vacation.
Woohoo!
My tip is to ask yourself when you're packing, what one thing would I bring with me to make my travel more ADHD friendly? So for me, it's often like an analog clock. I've got a little travel clock that I'll tuck in my suitcase. So sometimes I go places and there's not a clock or there's not an alarm clock I trust that's going to actually wake me up. And it just helps my brain to see that analog. So that's like a really quick thing. If I'm traveling like I was this past week and I'm coaching, I bring my time timer. Again, my tools often are tied to time. I brought my planner. my planning sheets. I literally planned out, this is probably something I should share. I planned out on my weekly planning sheet, which is part of the ADHD-friendly planner. I wrote on little Post-its that I put on each day what the temperature was, because I was traveling from Chicago to Asheville. It was still chilly in Asheville. It was getting a little warmer, and then to Raleigh, where it was absolute full on, like full spring. And it was actually 89 the day I left. So I had to like kind of figure out, how am I going to go from high of 40s in Chicago to high of 89 the last day in Raleigh, and how am I going to remember what I can wear and pack and fit everything on a carry-on? Because remember, this is before I knew I was going to be buying a quilt, and I had to make everything fit on a carry-on. So the only way I can do that is to use my weekly planner to plan out what the temperatures are going to be and what I can wear, so that I write it all down in the day. So I get up in the morning and I look, and I already decided what I'm going to wear that day. I never do this any other time except when I'm traveling.
Oh, that's so smart.
So these are some things that you might consider supporting yourself with when you think about what's one thing that you could do or take with you to make your trip more ADHD friendly. But the thing that was a game changer that I took that I never have done before. So I took my tumbler with me. I dumped it out so that it was empty, and went through security. And the reason I brought it was because what I know about myself is I won't drink, and I don't drink enough generally, period. It's a challenge. But I also am very particular. I don't want to say like difficult or demanding, but I really need my cold beverages to be super cold and my hot beverages to be super hot. And that means it needs to have ice. And what I know is when I travel, not everybody feels the same way about ice that I feel. So I have definitely been to visit people who do not have ice, period. And so I might like drive through like Chick-fil-A or something and get a drink, and it will last a bit, but the ice is going to melt. So I kind of have this like urgent, like, oh, I need more ice. I need so much ice. And I thought, this guy keeps my ice all day. What if I just bring this and I fill it up with ice when I get there?
And then you have it.
And then I have it.
So smart.
So the other thing that I did, and I can't promise that this will happen and that it will work, but I did try it and it did work, is I filled it with ice only with no liquid. And it went through security because it was solid. So I can't promise that'll work. It was a little daring because I'm such a rule follower, but I kept it. I was like, this is a solid thing. It's not liquid. I'm not. Do you have any liquids? I don't, because they were ice, and because it's so cold, this keeps it so cold. They didn't melt, so they were literally just ice cubes. So I took my ice with me, and it really did work to support me to drink more, to be hydrated, and I was afraid I would leave it, but it was so present. It made it to Asheville and then to Raleigh and then back on the plane to Chicago and back here while I'm podcasting with you. So my tip is just to explore if there's something that you would take with you that would just create more ease when you're traveling, so that you're supporting your brain in ADHD friendly ways. All right, that is my tip for this week. Now on to the topic. So my topic for this week comes from, I was listening to the Smartless podcast, which I just adore. Every other podcast I was listening to before I found Smartless has fallen by the wayside. You know what? I think it might be I know it's going to be a favorite thing. I just know it. I love it so much. I have read books that I heard them talk about. I have, explored things that I was like, what is that? Well, I was listening to an episode yesterday, and it literally changed my topic for today. I was talking about something else. It'll be in the next week or two. This was so much more sparkly. Their guest was Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry.
Best.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's what I was going to say. He is a basketball player. He is incredibly talented. I don't remember what team he plays for, because I'm going to be honest, basketball's not my thing. I think it's a California team. I don't even
California.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even, I think it's,
I don't follow basketball.
I think it's the Lakers.
I don't know.
But I don't want to like piss people off with like, Patty, don't even. So I apologize. I don't hold on to details that aren't important to my brain. And so I know they talked about it, but I don't remember. What was important to my brain was a simple strategy that he just mentioned that I loved it so much. Ooh. So I'm still playing around with how to use this for myself. Because like I said, I just heard it yesterday, but he was talking about, Jason Bateman was asking him because they've won, I think he said they've won 4 championships since 2015.
Like a lot.
Like that's a pretty successful team. And so he asked if there was a strategy or an approach, like, does it change year to year? How do you keep coming back like hungry and excited? And he said that the coach came to this new season with a strategy that he said the goal was to win the week.
Win the week.
I'm just going to pause there for a second. What? Win the week?
Win the week.
So he said, if they're playing 3 games, the goal is to win 2 of them.
Okay.
So you can lose 1 and still
Yeah.
win the week.
Right.
I know he's talking basketball. I know that we can equate this to life, but I want to equate this to our ADHD-friendly life.
Yeah.
Win the week. So I want to figure out like how to incorporate this into even my weekly planning. Like, so like if I do this, what does win the week look like in my life? So that I'm looking at, I've got this many things I'm trying to get done. What does win the week look like? Because our brains are so all or nothing.
Yeah.
If we break it into, okay, it'd be great if I hit everything I'm intending to do. Fabulous. But what if I don't hit everything? What is still going to be able to be counted as a win for me? Asking ourselves that so that we have a way to plan so that, yeah, we're striving for this, but if I hit, like, it's kind of like that if we're trying to go from like couch to half marathon, which is literally what I did a few years ago, we can't go from the couch to half marathon. We have to start with something is more than nothing. So I'm going to start by running to the mailbox and then running to the next mailbox. I can't start by running 5 miles, and I can't start by saying, I'm going to, okay, you know what? I'm just going to run 1 mile every day if I haven't run a mile any day. So we have to start with something that was manageable and doable. So it might be like, you know what? I would love it if I ran 1 mile every day this week, but it would be a win for the week if I ran it 1 mile twice this week, because that's far more than,
Yeah.
you know, let's say if we weren't doing it at all. So defining what the win for the week is a very sparkly idea for me. And I'm bringing it here as the main topic because I just find that there's so many ways to explore using this in ADHD friendly ways, because what a win for my week would look like is probably different from what a win for your week would look like, Becca.
Yeah.
Or a win for, you know, Steph Curry, like he's at, you know, I'm sure performing at a much higher level every day
Yeah.
than I'm necessarily going, but
Right.
we're doing different things. We have different goals. And so our wins are very individual. So individualizing what a win for your week would look like. But if we have that as part of the question, like what would a win for the, like, what would it look like at the end of the week for me to win the week?
I
So it's
love
not
that.
winning everything, because we all fail.
Yeah.
I started today with a fail in my mind,
Right.
but I also started it with a huge win. And I immediately was reconnected to this message of, interesting. It lets me not feel the failure as, you know, the perceived failure as such a heavy thing, and more of a, well, if I'm looking at my tallies, I'm still winning.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm sharing it just in case this is a sparkly idea for you. When you think about taking that strategy of win the week that Steph Curry shared, everybody loses, but how many things either checked off your to-do list or won, right? It might literally, maybe
Yeah.
you're also an athlete and you're, you know, or you're trying to, like, you're in school and you're trying to pass a certain number of things, or, you know, get C's, or, you know, no less than, you know, let's say you're taking, you have 5 assignments and you want to make sure that you get no more than 1 C in them, or, you know, you don't fail any of them, or you turn them all in, whatever it is. What does win the week look like for you? And then track it. You know, I'm a huge fan of tracking, so that you literally, like, I won the week. I set this goal and I could see that I won it because I tracked it. So what would winning the week look like in your life? And if you do try this, again, episode 132, I would love to hear, because this is just so new in my brain. I always like your ideas. I always want to hear what you notice works for you. But if you like this idea as well, and you give it any structure, any thought, any ideas sparkly for your brain, please do share them, episode 132, so we can all learn from it. All right, now on to the book of the week.
Woohoo!
Okay. Now I'm going to be honest. So the book is called, to be honest, I'll tell you what the book is first. I'll be honest about what the book is called. The Last Days of Lila Goodluck. And it's by Kylie Scott, Kylie. It's her first name, Scott, Scott. And what I would call this is a great beach read.
Ooh, okay.
Okay, so it's very light reading. It's definitely a romance. It's the first time I've read like a straight romance in a long time, and I forgot just how easy you can just slip into
Yeah,
them
totally.
and just page turner. It's not, and I'm not a writer, so I don't know how to like I'm clearly not cut out to actually like critique it. But I will tell you that my experience was a little frustrating at times because there were times I couldn't tell he was talking, so it wasn't written in the
Oh,
clearest way.
sure.
But the story was so good that it kept pulling me in, and I
Yeah.
definitely wanted to finish it and find out. And so the premise is Lila goes to a party that her friend is throwing, and her friend, it's a birthday party, and her friend has a fortune teller there.
Ooh.
And the fortune teller predicts that Lila's boyfriend is cheating on her, that she's going to be passed over for a promotion at work, that if she plays these numbers, she'll win the lottery. She rattles off, like, and she says all of it just like I'm saying this to you. She rattles off 6 numbers, and that she's going to meet her soulmate, and that she will die next Sunday.
What?
I'm like, oh my God, I'm in. What a premise!
Right.
Like, all these things are happening, but then and then you'll die next Sunday. I'm like,
And that was the beginning of the book.
yeah, I'm like, that's it.
Oh.
That's it. So I'm not going to tell you what happens. I will just tell you, it was such a fun premise. Like I was just like, what a great idea
Yeah.
for a book. Because how are you not like, do you not want to read it?
Right. I'm like, well, what happens next?
Yeah, exactly. And it was funny because I was reading it at my sister's house when I was in Nashville, and she kept going, "Did she die yet?" I'm like, "No, it's only Thursday. It's only Thursday."
It's not Sunday yet.
But I was so aware what day of the week it was, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh!" So, the last days of Lila Good Luck. If that sounds like a good light, easy romance for you to check out, I'd love to hear what you think of it. And then I have my quick quote from throwing everything on the floor today, guys. From Kevin Kelly.
Kevin Kelly.
There's a glare. Apologize for the glare. I hate glares. Okay, so Kevin this week says, I love this. He says, trust 3-star product reviews because they will tell both the good and the bad, which is the real state for most things.
Ooh.
And I love this because it kind of ties into the win for the week, right? A 3 can be a win still if you're like, okay, I'm hitting most things.
Yeah.
Doesn't resonate with everyone, but it is exactly what I shot for and I hit it. So, and I do find that that's true. When I read the 5 stars, it's like all glowing up. It's like, oh, fabulous. Great seller, great product. I'm like, but you're not telling me anything. I read the 1 stars and there's nothing redeeming about it.
Right, but you get the
the 3 stars and you're going to hear what they liked and what they didn't like. And then I can really filter through and see if the things they liked are what I need and the things that they didn't like are deal breakers for me. So I love that really quick, simple strategy. Thumbs up, Kevin Kelly. Oh, great idea. I know I haven't, I had really, I have it right. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Becca. This is why I have her here to help me. I'm like, literally looking because I'm looking at the thumbs up as I'm saying, I'm like, thumbs up. All right. There you go. That's it for this episode 132 of ADHD Friendly. As always, take what works for you, leave the rest behind. It wouldn't be ADHD friendly if it wasn't. I do invite you to check out ADHD-Friendly.com as well as the ADHD Friendly membership community to see if that would help you to thrive with ADHD. That's it for this week. Thanks again for subscribing. Ta-ta for now. Tally ho. I said ta-ta.
You said ta-ta.
Tally ho.